going to be Louisiana lowlanders, as my understanding is, and any sort of Western expansion that I have heard about. And there's a lot of Western Dutch out in the Puget Sound area, as well as California.
Ball.
Perhaps there's some baseball operations opening up there, but nonetheless, we have a beautiful game and a beautiful day for a beautiful game of baseball today. Milwaukee Dutchmen 20-30 is their record, taking on the Boston Ruffians 21-29. A win will tie them in the basement of the Continental League, unfortunately. However, the Dutchmen have won the last 2 games, both of them against the Ruffians. Wiggly Bispo will be the first to fall. A strikeout looking from Dave Dump McDan on the mound today. His record is 3-7 this season. A 6.86 ERA, 22 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.65. He gives up an opening single to Coke Can Lloyd. This brings up throw to Broder, who's batting .304 this season for the Ruffians, the right fielder.
Nope, that's high.
That is ball 1. That one is in the dirt, which will... Well, there's no attempt to steal, there's no attempt to pick off the stolen base from Coke Can Lloyd. He's in at second. And he's stolen base number 7 for him this season. Dan sees Lloyd off the bag yet again, has to throw it right back. Again, still looking to pick him off. 3-1 the count, facing throw to Boda.
Nope, ball 4.
He will walk. So McDan, a bit of a dicey start already. The man who went 4-4 last season with an ERA of .430. He's kind of fallen off the pace a bit. Another chance to steal, and that's going to be, well, the throw is in the dirt. That will be a stolen base. That puts Coke Can Lloyd 90 feet away. With Rogue Bison at the plate, batting .333 this season. 351 with runners in scoring position, of which there is one. He's got 40 RBIs, 16 home runs.
That's high.
In the cleaning up position.
Ball 4.
And that will be a walk again of Rogue Bison. So with the bases loaded here in the top of the first, it's Slug Thombid, formerly of the Nashville Fire of the Nursery League, the Developmental League, was picked up by the Ruffians. He's batting .305, 29 runs batted in. Has 12 home runs. So he gets jammed. That's going to be an infield fly roll. Should be an easy catch for Dash Buckman. Makes the catch for out number 2. But to get out of this inning, to start things off, would be quite the accomplishment. Squire Pondwood coming in today, playing second base.
Steve Wright.
Pondwood, the former Norfolk full hopper. And that will be a strikeout to retire the side. So the Dutchmen strand 3. Well, excuse me, the Ruffians strand 3, and the Dutchmen get out of quite the predicament.
That's down. No. All outside. Take your base.
Well, on the mound today is Bruce Dapper, who's kind of come into his own. He's a pickup from the New Ohio Debonaires. They traded for him this past offseason. He's going to walk his opening batsman, which is Nello Buthrat. And brings up Bustles Muxon to the plate. 2-0 the count already. Muxon batting .325 this season. 35 runs batted in.
Nope, that's high.
Bruce Dapper has an ERA of .422. 39 strikeouts so far this season. He's pitched just under 75 innings. This is start number 14 from him. Will be walk number 2 today. So the bats start to look alive. This looks like a very potentially a very high-scoring, exciting game to see if the contact can be made. Chester Sliders swings at that one, and he picks off. Well, that's going to be Nello Buthrat called out, stealing third. Well, the runner remains on second. It's 1 out. And that fills up the count for Chesty Sliders, who's batting 337. He's going to walk. So 3 walks in a row for Bruce Dapper. This has been quite an interesting start. He's going to hit it right to Ponwood, to Lloyd. And it's a Fancy Dan double play to end the inning. Max Beef hitting into it. With that Fancy Dan double play, that ends the first inning. Brought to you by Fancy Dan Follicle Products. Put more fop in your coif with Fancy Dan. They have styling salves, crimping powder, gelatin-based tonics, and of course, hair lubricant. Why be a Mitchell when you can be a Fancy Dan? Starting things off here in the top of the second. Going to be into the glove of Bustles. Muxon Nib Corker, the catcher, hits it to the warning track, but not enough oomph on it. Needed a little bit more moxie on that. That'll be out number 1. Virgil Sacrifice, batting only 190. He's only played 32 games. Doesn't usually find himself regularly in the side. He's going to pop it up to Bustles, Muxon in right field. That's 2 catches in a row for Muxon. Which brings us to the pitcher spot. Bruce Dapper. 154. He's got 4 hits this season. 1 RBI. And holding home there. That's going to be into the glove of Max Beef. A 1-2-3 inning. Much a relief for Dutchman fans. I would really love to see a second half of the season comeback for the Milwaukee Dutchmen. I think repeating their championship from 1919 last year is a bit of a much of an ask, as they are just so far behind at the moment. They are 12 and a half games behind the New Ohio Debonaires. They did, of course, win the league last year. If you're not familiar, of course, there's still a bit of a buzz here in Milwaukee, a championship coming to our fair city. Venus Jackson will get on with a single that will drop into shallow right field. Coach Boulder had to chase that down. That's the first hit of the game for the Dutchmen. After 3 walks in the first inning. On the bottom of the 6th, Booty Cooks, batting 285. The Milwaukee Dutchmen, of course, clinched the Continental League last season. It was a shortened season due to the war and, of course, the Kaiser. He's going to get Booty Cooks to strike out Bruce Dapper with his first strikeout today. That is number 40 on the season for him. Joey Bread to the plate for the first time today. Again, the Milwaukee Dutchmen, defending Continental League champions, find themselves in the last place, but putting on a bit of a charge here in the second half of the season. It would be nice to see them put a nice run up and get some wins and give a little bit more to hope for Dutchman fans in the 1921 season. And we talk about all sorts of baseball expansion in the Continental League framework. There will, of course, be the Nursery League in the spring, the Developmental League for tryouts in the southern states of these United States. I understand we'll be going westward and looking into some western expansion, as well as expanding even further into the southern territories. My understanding is there might even be some teams. But again, I can only speak on what I know about Milwaukee enterprises, and I understand that there will be looked through the California Dutch and the Pacific Coast Dutch populations, as that is that is properly the prerequisite to be a member of the Milwaukee Dutchmen franchise is your Dutch heritage. But the beauty of that is we do have, in this great country, a lot of Dutch immigration.
Steve Wright.
They are popping up and loving their baseball. As I understand, the Leighton Park Lowlanders will become the Louisiana Lowlanders, which is Shreveport. As the travel was a bit much for them, all the way down to the southern states, places like Memphis and Norfolk and Nashville. From Wisconsin, it was a bit much, so they decided to move operations down to Louisiana, the northern parts of Louisiana at least, because it's an easier commute for those games. Well, the Ruffians did in fact get 1 run scored. On that, Pocan Lloyd is on third. Nello Bothroth is going to retrieve that one to get the first out. That will be a sacrifice, so 1 out. The Dutchmen already down 2-0.
Strike.
A 2-1 count facing Rogue Bison. Who's going to drop that one into shallow left? Joey Bread with the retrieving of it. That's a single for Bison. And the inning continues here in the top of the third, 2-0 in favor of the Boston Ruffians, the away side. Dave dumped McDan on the mound for Milwaukee today. In a game where Milwaukee could get out of the basement were they to win.
Strike 3.
And he's going to get Flog Thombid to strike out swinging, so something we usually see, a quiet day from Flog Thombid so far. He's 0 for 2 with an infield fly rule and that strikeout. So 2 outs, it's Squire Pondward who smashes that. Is it going to be far enough? It is to industry. It is a 2-run home run for Squire Pondward. And that will be a 4-0 lead for the Boston Ruffians. Squire Palmer, that's home run number 2 for him this season. And he did hit 3 home runs for the Norfolk Corehoppers. Well, that will do it for Dave McDan. Does not get out of the third inning. In comes Food Thoyd.
Off the plate.
Food Thoyd, the workhorse relief pitcher of the Milwaukee Dutchmen. Takes a 2-2 count, and that's going to be a single up the left side to Joey Bread. From Nib Corker, he's on with a single, his first hit of the game. And a very lengthy third inning. Up to the top of the order, we're already into the 4th spot with Virgil, the 8th spot with Virgil Sacrifice. That one into foul territory. That's a 1-2 count.
Foul ball.
Foul pops it up into foul territory. That'll just hit the fringe of the grass. Venus Jackson getting the pop-up and bring us to the end of this inning. Well, a 4-run inning for the Ruffians. Puts the Dutchmen in a bit of a hole. They've already gotten Dave McDan out of this game. Food Thoyd will take the plate.
Steve Wright.
In case Bruce Dapper, despite a start of walking 3 batsmen in a row, has really found control and found himself into this game. I say that as he gives up a hit. That's going to drop right into the gap in between center and right, all the way to the wall is Slog Thombid. And that is Food Thoyd with a leadoff double. It's hit number 4 for him this season. And again, it's a very small sample size, 12 at-bats, but
Nope, inside.
batting 13 at-bats, I guess I'm 4 for 13.
That's inside.
Great hand to have in your lineup. We go back to the top of the order. Nello Bufferot walked in his first at-bat. He was then caught stealing third.
Nope, take the base.
He would walk again, so Bruce Dapper puts runners on first and second with no outs. Bustles Muxin walked as well in the first. 35 runs batted in. He's batting .325, actually worse when runners are in scoring position. However,
Steve Wright.
a 1-2 count.
That's inside.
Dapper seems to throws a bit all over the place. Muxin hits it hard, but it's into the glove of Slog Thombid in center field. That will get Food Thoyd to tag up. So there are runners on the corners with 1 out. The Squiders has 37 runs batted in. And another, we have number 38, 90 feet away. Average with runners in scoring position, 364. That's going to just get past the diving glove of Squire Pondwood. That will score 1. It'll be an RBI single, and the Dutchmen are on the board in this game. Squiders hitting RBI number 38, scoring Food Thoyd from third, 4-1 game. And with 1 out, Max Beef represents the tying run at the plate.
That's outside.
Beef is hitting .416 this season. 10 home runs, 29 RBIs. He's about as good of a cleanup batsman as you can ask for on the Dutchman. He's going to pop it up into foul territory, and mid-corker makes the catch. Easy one for that. Out number 2. Which brings us to Venus Jackson. Hit a single to start the second inning off.
That's high.
Takes ball 1. He's batting 4.4. Forward runners are in scoring position. That's going to be into the air. Thombid's got it. And that's going to be into his glove for out number 3. So two runners are stranded on base for the Dutchmen. But they do get on the board. It's 4-1. You're listening to Radio 9XM, Wisconsin Public Radio. My name is Ronald McSticks. And this is the Milwaukee Dutchmen taking on the Boston Ruffians, the final game of their 3-game series. Game number 51 of the Continental League season, the 84-game-long season. This the twice as long as last season's shortened one. Bruce Dapper going to hit it right back to the pitcher. That'll be out number 1, right to Food Thoyd. Throws it to Nello Buffrott easily. And Wiggly Bispo, 0-1. Struck out looking to start the game off and then walked in the third. It was the one that was sacrificed. That's going to drop. Nello Buffrott trying to get to that one. It just misses his glove, so that's going to be a single for Wiggly Bispo. I feel that that's an error to Buffrott. That would be a very unjustly scored error. However, he is on first with 1 out, and it brings us to Cocan Lloyd, who's 2 for 2 today. Swings at 1.
That's inside.
The thing, when you are feeling it, you are feeling it, and he is feeling it. He's going to strike out swinging, however. He's going to feel a strikeout from Food Thoyd. Strikeout number 31 for Food Thoyd. His first today, and with 2 outs, throat bowled up. Got the scoring opened up for the Ruffians with that sacrifice. To sail over the head of Buffrott into foul territory for a 1-2 count here in the top of the 4th. And he will strike out swinging, so Food Thoyd seems like he might be ready to go for a long haul just a bit. And that will do it for the Ruffians to the bottom of the 4th. Booty Cooks starts things off for Milwaukee. Takes strike 1. Cooks struck out looking in the his last at-bat in the second inning. Will he outrun the throw? He will! And that will be a tough one for Cocan Lloyd to dive himself onto again. They hit it so hard that eventually they have to dive themselves onto these balls.
That's inside.
They just cannot recover in time. He's going to attempt to steal, but is called back on the foul ball. 1-1 the count. Joey Brad 0 for 1 today. It's going to be a 1-2 count, a very high and with much fanfare foul ball. The next pitch is going to pop up similarly, but into the glove of Slug. Thombid for out. Number 1. Dash Buckman finding himself in the spot. The center of the infield for the Dutchman has really been kind of a revolving door. Ben Walk-Stramplison is there. Nello Buffrott has played second base for a bit. Dash Buckman has late found himself a bit of a starter spot. He's made appearances in 20 games. This is only at-bat number 41 for him. Batting .333. Perhaps he can find the opportunity to find himself into the side. Him in the bottom of the 4th, and he's going to strike out swinging. So that'll be strikeout number 2 for him today. And for Bruce Dapper, strikeout number 3 in total. Brings us back to Food Thoyd. Hit a double last time in his at-bat. And Dapper up to 69 pitches.
That's high.
A nice pitch for ball 1. Number 70. 2-1 the count. Was down the middle for strike 2. And gets him to ground out for out number 3. So that will put us to the top of the order. And the top of the 5th, Food Thoyd remains on the mound. Rogue Bison is the first batsman, and he's going to ground out on the first pitch. Right to third base, Max Beef. Throwing it to Noah Buthrat in time for out number 1.
Steve Wright.
Run production has not really been the strong suit of the Dutchmen this season. Although, to be fair, last season it was the pitching and the fielding that really kept all the teams in check. As Slug Thornbait is going to be on with a single. And Squire Pondward, who hit the home run in his last at-bat for 2 runs scored of the 4.
Nope, that's low.
Takes ball 1. That was ultimately the home run that got Dave Dump McDown to this game, so Food Floyd is facing him for the first time today. 2-1 count. Pops it up in the air. Should be called for by Joey Brad. Gets it for out number 2. Nib Corker, the catcher, batting .305 this season, had a single off Food Floyd to start the, it was Food Floyd's first at bat.
Steve Wright.
1-2 the count. Floyd does have 2 strikeouts so far today. He's going to pop that one backwards for remain 1-2 the count. Right to the glove of Food Floyd. Just gets the glove out there, makes the catch, and ends the inning. This catch is worth a salt. Which is why it's brought to you by Salt, the seasoning craze that is sweeping the nation. You can buy it and try it on anything.
Nope, outside.
You're looking for it in your grocery, just find the label with the deer on it. Just follow the deer, and you'll find it. Hello, Buthrat starts the bottom of the 5th. Top of the batting order for the Dutchman. He is going to get on with his first hit of the day. He's been on base all 3 times, 2 walks, but that is his first hit, so a single. Which brings us to Bustles Muxin.
Ball inside.
On a 1-0 pitch, Muxin will move Buthrat to second. As Virgil's Sacrifice had to dive onto that one, gets the out at first. Chesty Squiders recorded the only RBI of this game, the only run of this game with an RBI single. He's not going to get a second one. That's going to the fielding by Throde Baldup. Will be the second hit, the second single for Chesty Squiders. And that will bring Bruce Dapper's day to a close, bringing in Sandy Carfax.
Nope, that's high.
Sandy Carfax, one of the preferred relievers of the Ruffians. An ERA of 5.69, a whip of 166, giving up that opening single to Max Beef. And it's now 4-2. The Dutchmen get on the board yet again with an RBI from Max Beef. Max Beef with RBI number 30 for him. So congratulations, 30th RBI for Max Beef. Enos Jackson, 1 for 2 today, hit a single in the second. Batting .305, 25 runs batted in, 424 when the runners in scoring position, but he's going to hit right into a 6-4-3, well, a 4-6-3 Fancy Dan double play to end the inning. Well, the Fancy Dan double play, we enter the top of the 6th, brought to you by Fancy Dan. Follicle products put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. You can try their styling salves, their crimping powder, their hair lubricants, gelatin-based tonics, and of course, sculpting epoxies. All the treatments to give your hair that gleam, glimmer, sheen, and shimmer. Some of those are words. For a lead-off single for Virgil Sacrifice means that Carfax lays down a bunt to move him to second. And that brings Food Floyd's day to an end, bringing in Beth Factory. Beth Factory, one of the pickups from the Leighton Park Lowlanders. I say that the Louisiana Lowlanders soon, although I guess it will only be Leighton Park for Beth Factory, provided that he stays on the side. So can Lloyd up to the plate at the moment. And hits it right to Nella Buthrat to retire the side. So stranding the one runner. Still 4-2. Bottom of the second. Dutchmen with a chance to get back into this one. They're chipping away as they seem to be doing. Booty Wooks, the first to the plate here in the bottom of the sixth.
No.
Gonna lead off with an extra base hit all the way to the wall and the warning track. That is going to be a stand-up double retrieved by Slug Thumbid. And the tying run is now at the plate in the form of Joey Bread, who's 0 for 2 today. He does bat .278 with runners in scoring position. His average is .289, so it's about the same.
Steve Wright.
12 RBIs, 3 home runs,
Off the plate.
and an average of .310 when he played for Leighton Park. And it's going to be an RBI. He drops that one into center field. He's going to stay on first, but it will score. Booty Coops from second. So it's a 4-3 game with Dash Buckman, who's 0 for 2 today. Buckman only played 16 games last season for Milwaukee. He did hit .407 in them. That's going to drop into shallow right field, retrieving it to throw to Boulder. It'll be a double for Buckman. And it will move Joey Bread to third. So up to the plate now is Beth Factory with no outs. No, it will not be. It will be Hoon McMunch. So Factory will come out of this game.
Nope, that's inside.
Munch will pop that one high up into foul territory for a 1-2 count. Here in the bottom of the sixth. And he will strike out, so that will be out number 1. Bring us to the top of the order. Nello Buffrot with runners in scoring position on second and third. Buffrot, 367 with runners in scoring position. Has 23 RBIs this season. Would love to see him get numbers 24 and 25. Going to be popped up into the air. That'll be out number 2. Sandy Carfax getting it just in front of home plate. Bustles Muxon 0 for 2 today with a walk to start the game off.
Ball inside.
Not much from Bustles Muxon today. Smashes it as I say it. It doesn't look like it has the distance, though. I think calling everyone off is Wiggly Bisco. Makes the catch, strands the 2 runners, and brings us to the top of the 7th with Jeff Loud coming to the mound for the Dutchman. Facing Throat Boulder. That's a sacrifice fly, and that's his contribution for the day so far. Jeff Loud has a 3-3 record, 2.50 ERA, 15 strikeouts from 39 points to make that 16. Gets Throat Boulder striking out swinging. Goodness, that's Jeff Loud has slowly found his way into quite he's got an ERA of 2.50. Last year that was 5.40. So that's a huge improvement for Mr. Loud. He's going to get the second one rogue Bison to ground out to Max Beef. Throw to Buffrot for out number 2. He's got 5 saves on his record. He's not typically the closer. Boer Hoodje usually gets that role, but just finds himself in the save situations. 0-2 the count, has Slug Thumbid behind the count. Gets him swinging for another strikeout. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Jeff Loud has quieted the Boston Bats. And the Dutchmen are 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. We all have a good Dutch stretch. Calisthenics, of course, can be done reasoning between the top and bottom of the 7th, as is customary.
That's high.
Chesty Swiders having the honor of opening up against Sandy Carfax.
That's outside.
He's throwing 28 pitches. Came into relief for Bruce Dapper. That's going to be a leadoff single for Swiders. His 3rd hit of the game. 3 for 4 for Swiders. Goodness me. Excellent performance. Excellent batsmanship from Swiders. It brings us Max Beef.
Nope, high.
Takes strike 1. 31 pitches for Carfax.
Nope, nope.
2-1 on the count here in the bottom of the 7th. You are listening to Radio 9XM, Wisconsin Public Radio. My name is Ronald McSticks. This is the Continental League. Game number 51 of 84 this season. The Milwaukee Dutchmen taking on the Boston Ruffians, and that's going to be a walk for Max Beef. Putting runners on first and second. The go-ahead run is now at first, and Carfax's day will be over. In comes Carlisle County.
Nope, that's high.
Carlisle County, 5.60 ERA, 1-0-1 record, has thrown 14 strikeouts in 35 1/3 innings pitched. This is his 21st appearance this season. A whip of 142. Opponents tend to bat an average of 300 against him.
That's high.
Venus Jackson has his average of 305. He's 1 for 3 today. I'll keep it the same. He's going to walk, so that will put the bases in a loaded position for Booty Cooks.
Steve Wright.
You can feel that the tying run 90 feet away. There is promise to that. That's going to be right to Pondwood. Pope Cam Lloyd. Well, they get a fancy Dan double play. It does, in fact, score the run. So it's a tie game with 2 outs and a runner at third base. But it is a fancy Dan double play. Joey Bread swinging at that one. That is about as good of a play as you can make. They do give up the run, and it alleviates a little bit of the issue. Bread is going to hit that high and far into the glove of Willie Bispo for out number 3. But we are tied up going into the top of the 8th as the Fancy Dan double play, of course, by the Ruffians. Brought to you by Fancy Dan Follicle Products. Put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. Squire Pondwood hit the home run earlier today.
Nope, outside.
Facing Jeff Loud, who has been making quite the splash for the Dutchmen in relief. Gets Pondwood to pop that one out. 2 Buses Muxon in shallow right for out number 1. Nib Qualker's day will be over. In comes Gert Junction as a pinch hitter. Gert Junction, pick up from the Chicago Teetotalers in the offseason for Boston. Met in 244. He's going to be on with a single. I have to wonder what sort of plan they have in mind as Gert Junction gets on. And in comes Fixed Ray Mortgage as a pinch hitter as well, who will pop it up into, looks like it should be easy for Jeff Loud. That will be it for his time on in this game as we go to Carlisle County, who will pop it up to Bustles Muxon for out number 3. Well, that does it for the Ruffians in the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th with Dutchmen in a great chance to take the lead. In comes Porky Handshake as a backup catcher. Pretend Esposito will take the spot at third. And Dash Buckman, his last at bat was a double.
Off the plate.
Takes a 2-0 count from Carlisle County to get things started.
That's no.
It's high into the air, but it is a bit wishful thinking for the Dutchman fans in attendance who made a bit of a cheer. That was into the glove of Throat Boulder. Jeff Loud, good to see that he is staying in this game. I don't think I would, the way he's been pitching, I don't imagine I'd want to see anyone else pitching the top of the 9th for the Dutchman. He's going to strike out swinging, so Carlisle County getting a strikeout.
Steve Wright. Nope, inside.
And with 2 outs, it's Nello Buthrat, who's been on base 3 times today. He will pop it up into foul territory. If that stays in, it should be... No, it's good. Well, fortunately, it went over the backstop. But the next pitch is a strikeout, so Nello Buthrat will register out number 3. We head to the top of the 9th. We are tied at 4 between Boston and Milwaukee, with a game where Milwaukee, with a win, can find themselves out of the basement. They will be tying Boston in last place. A bit of a dubious honor, unfortunately, but would continue a win streak. They would win 3 games straight, all 3 against the Ruffians. Wiggly Bispo will strike out looking. So that will be another strikeout for Jeff Loud. And in comes Coke Can Lloyd, who was 2 for 4 today. Going to be right to Venus Jackson. Throw. He does not throw it in time, and Lloyd is on with a single. Bit too lackadaisical from Venus Jackson, I think. As that just put the go-ahead run on first for Throat Boulder, who's 0 for 3 today, so perhaps there's some hope. Can go for the fancy Dan double play if they can get him to ground into it. They are watching as Coke Can Lloyd is taking a lead off first.
Nope, that's inside.
1-1 the count.
Nope, inside.
That is strike 1. That's going to be in the dirt, and Lloyd will steal. He is on second, so there goes the double play. Butherot gets the ground ball for out number 2. It does move Lloyd to third base with Rogue Bison at the plate. Today, a very quiet day for Rogue Bison. However, with runners in scoring position, the batting average of Rogue Bison is 351.
Nope, that's
A
high.
bit troublesome. The go-ahead run for the Ruffians is is at third base, is 90 feet away. 2-2 the count. This is a huge pitch. Gets him swinging. Strikes him out. That is strike 3 and out 3. And suddenly, with the meat of the lineup up to the plate, Muxon, Squiders, and Beef, the Dutchmen, heading to the bottom of the ninth, tied up
Steve
with
Wright.
a chance to win this game. Carlisle County. That's the second pitch, an 0-1 count. That is out number 1, right to Squire Ponwood. Dives onto it, gets up, makes the throw to Rogue Bison. Chesty Squiders, 3 for 3 today. 1 RBI with 3 singles and a walk.
That's inside.
And on deck is Max Beef, who's also got an RBI. That is going to be popped up high into the air. Looks like Squire Pondwood is going to tread into foul territory to register the catch out number 2. Max Beef with 2 outs. Takes strike 1.
Nope. Nope, high.
3-1 the count. That is going to fill it up. He lets that one go right by. This is a huge, huge pitch. Swing. It's going to be right to Pondwood, and that is going to be out number 3. We head to the top of the 10th. Extra innings in this one.
Nope, that's inside.
So Slog Thombid takes the plate.
All low. All inside.
Here in the top of the 10th. Nothing
Steve Wright.
separating these sides. A 4-0 lead chipped away at by the Dutchman. Thombid will walk to start the inning. And that will do it for Jeff Loud. In comes the final of the bullpen members, Bood Hooges.
Right.
Typically the closing pitcher, and that's going to be on strike 1. Thombid will steal second,
Off the plate.
while Pondwood has the plate.
Steer right.
Apart from the home run, he's been quieted. It's going to be a high and far foul ball. Another foul. It's 1-2 the count.
Off the plate.
2-2 the count. That's going to be onto a diving dash. Buckman does not get the throw in time. Pondwood is now on first, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away at third base with no outs for Corky handshake. Who will score at his first at-bat. The go-ahead run, it is now 5-4.
Be right. Be right. Infield fly.
Infield fly rule is called. Hooges with the catch. And here's Carlisle County, who will come out for Energy Midtown. Well, we're into the top of the 10th. It is now 5-0. Ruffians over the Dutchmen. 1 out so far in this game.
Be right. All high. Strike three. You're up.
And that's going to be a strikeout of Energy Midtown. We go back to the top of the order. It's Wiggly Bispo. So 2 outs.
Steve
One
Ryan.
run has been scored in the top of the 10th.
Nope. Inside.
By the Ruffians, but there are still 2 outs on the board. Buthrod, 2 runners on, and he will jog over to record the 3rd out. Well, stumped downtown the 3rd, the closing pitcher coming in for the Boston Ruffians here in the bottom of the 10th, excuse me, to face
Nope. That's high.
Venus Jackson. Well, 3 outs away for a win for the Boston Ruffians.
That's outside. Be right.
3-1 count to get things started.
Be right.
Fills up the count against Venus Jackson. That's going to ground right to Rogue Bison. And it is Booty
Steve
Cooks
Ryan.
with 1 out.
Nope. High.
1-1 count he faces. And it's going to go right to Dash Buckman, to Squire Pondwood, the throw in time for the 2nd out. Well, the last gasp effort is Joey Brett,
Be right.
who has
Be
1
right.
RBI today, a single in his most recent at-bat, so this is possible. And that will be out number 3. So the Boston Ruffians do in fact take the game in this one. And it does bring an end to this game. The final score of this one, the Boston Ruffians, 5 runs from 12 hits. The Milwaukee Dutchmen, 4 runs from 11 hits. The final score recorded in 10 innings. And that will do it for this game today. So the 2-game winning streak from the Dutchmen is stopped at 2. Boston stopped their losing streak at 2 as well. And that will be the game. So Milwaukee remain in last place. 2 games adrift of the Boston Ruffians, who get their 22nd win. Milwaukee stuck at 20 wins, 20 and 31. The Boston Ruffians 22 and 29, excuse me. The winning pitcher today is Carlisle County, who gets the big win. The loss is recorded by Jeff Loud, which I feel is a bit harsh, I must say, unfortunately. However, stumped downtown the 3rd, coming in for the save for the Boston Ruffians. Jeff Loud, I think, was the best of the pitchers to see in this game. But that is, unfortunately, how the stats are recorded. And we thank, lastly, our friends at the Honeywell Tobacco Company for sponsoring the finest standees of the day for this game and all games of the 1920 Continental League season. The Honeybee Tobacco Company giving you hand-rolled fresh cigarettes grown from the fabled tobacco roads of the Carolinas. The 3rd finest dandy is Chesty Squire, going 3 for 4 with an RBI today. Squire Pondwood is the 2nd finest dandy, going 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs scored from that home run. Ken Lloyd, however, is your finest dandy of the day. Bully to him for that of the Boston Ruffians. He gets a complimentary carton of honey wheat cigarettes for going 3 for 5 with a double, an RBI, and stealing 4 bases. Goodness me. Well, that is quite the day for Ken Lloyd. He is the finest dandy of the day, brought to you by the Honey Wheat Tobacco Company, humbly requesting that you smoke wheat every day. Well, that will do it for our broadcast today. The Boston Ruffians get the win. Milwaukee Dutchmen suffer yet another loss. They go on the road today to go up to New York, face the New York Haberdashers for a 3-game series. On the mound, scheduled for that game, Donut Shuckworth will be on the mound for Milwaukee, taking on Bonky Gorman for New York. Meanwhile, for the Boston Ruffians, they head back home to Boston until they welcome the surging Philadelphia Brown Trousers. I understand lost today. Very surprising to see. However, they have Melron Snellnitz on the mound for them, taking on Shackelford Stanwyck. If you are interested in that one, of course, the newspapers will have all the recordings of that, and as they head back home. However, we will be back here for the home game. The next time the Milwaukee Dutchmen have a home game again is when they welcome Chicago on the 24th, back here to the Milwaukee baseball grounds. Until then, it's a road trip for the Milwaukee Dutchmen to New York, and we hope to see some winning ways for them yet again. Until next time, my name is Ronald McSticks. You're listening to Radio 9XM. The music will continue after this, and I bid you a good day. Bedankt voor het luisteren. Tot ziens.